This is Tokyo Scramble. Welcome back to the channel. As promised, I'm here with a guide today on how I self-studied myself to fluency in Japanese. I'm going to be showing you how I used manga to study myself to basically native level understanding in reading and even listening. Who is this video for? Who are these studying methods for? Is this for a total beginner? No. This video is for someone, probably an intermediate student who maybe has reached a plateau and doesn't know how to get over that plateau and reach more advanced levels of Japanese. If that's where you're at and you're looking how to take your intermediate Japanese to the next level, then this is for you, and I encourage you to download and get ready everything that I'm going to tell you to do. Just stick with me, study with me through at least one manga, and I promise you, you will see some serious results in your Japanese level, and we can go from there and get you one step closer to your dream of being fluent in Japanese. The problem with studying from textbooks and then trying to turn on a movie is that the Japanese you see in the movies or you use day to day is very rarely found inside textbooks. The beautiful thing about manga is essentially the spoken form of Japanese written down. This makes spoken Japanese so much more accessible. And at the beginning of the video, I told you that manga was kind of the key to me becoming fluent in written and also listening skills in Japanese, and that's what I mean. Sometimes you'll turn on a movie or a TV show or an anime or something, and the way the characters are speaking is just so far from what you see in the textbooks. You have no idea what they're saying. But if you can see the word written out, you can kind of make sense of what they're trying to say. And if you get used to reading manga, you actually start understanding that it's just a variation on basic grammar, and you can start understanding spoken Japanese a lot better as well. So, in my opinion, once you reach a basic understanding of Japanese, you get to kind of an intermediate level. You need to step away from the textbooks, and you need to start learning Japanese from manga. Because manga is the written transcription of spoken Japanese. This video took more time to get ready than I thought it was going to. Turns out there's a lot more to copyright laws than I initially thought, and you can't just do any old manga and read it together with you guys. So I finally did locate a good manga, a good resource that I'll be introducing to you, along with some other websites that will help you self-study, and I'll be showing you techniques. We'll be reading through this manga together, and I'll try to explain how I'm reading it, how I'm studying it, and a lot of the different grammar and nuances as we go through it together. As I mentioned in my first video, hiragana and knowing hiragana, and actually katakana as well, give you access to basically the Japanese language. And there are tons of manga out there that have furigana written with the kanji, so you know what you're reading. Now, you can choose these sources, but sometimes the manga you actually want to read and the one you're interested in does not have furigana. So I'm actually going to be showing you a way to study above your level, above your pay grade. And I'm going to try a free manga with you that I'm going to have you guys download with me, and we're going to go through it. It doesn't have any furigana, and I'm going to show you how you can dissect the manga, look up the words, practice the words, study the words, and how you can work your way through a manga and self-study your way to fluency. My study method is super simple. It's probably more simple than what most of you guys out there are doing right now. But what I do have going for me is that my study method works, and I can now read Japanese fluently. All you need for this are basically four things. A smartphone, so I have a smartphone, a notebook, Any notebook is fine. I prefer having small notebooks that will fit in my back pocket because I like carrying them around. It's easy to access and kind of study as I'm moving from place to place. You need a source, manga. You can either have this manga, like the actual manga in your hand, or today I'm going to be introducing to you guys a digital resource, so you can have an iPad. And then I encourage everyone to get a pen, a real pen for the notebook. And if you have these 4 things, then you're ready to go. Now, first things first, why the notebook and the pen? Well, I have this thing about remembering new grammar, new words, new anything really. I think everything needs to be learned and remembered in context. Otherwise, it's really difficult to figure out how to use the word. I do not believe in applications like Anki. I don't believe in index cards. I don't believe in those little miniature word cards that you write words on. I don't believe in any of that because it takes everything out of context. And this is why I think it has to be a notebook. The reason it's a notebook is because as you're going through a story, every time you come across a new grammar or a new word or a new anything that you haven't encountered before, you don't know, you just write it down on the next line. And the words that you're writing down and these new concepts, maybe grammars you're writing down, the new vocabulary you're writing down, will not be organized alphabetically. It won't be organized by anything. It will be organized by the story that you're getting it from. So, for example, if I have a list of words that I didn't know from chapter 1 of some book I was reading, as I was reviewing those words, the story of chapter 1 is coming back into my head, and I'm looking at those words and I'm remembering them in context. No flashcards, no index cards, none of that. It takes everything out of context and is basically useless. Get yourself a small notebook you can throw in your back pocket and take with you everywhere, and just write down things in order of the story that you're reading. As I mentioned earlier, trying to find the right resource for us to study together was a little more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but I finally found a free use manga that's actually really famous. It's really interesting, and I think it would be good because there's no furigana in this manga. So this is a copyright free, this is a free source manga. It's pretty famous. It's called Blackjack ni yoroshiku. In English, give my regards to Blackjack. It's a manga about a doctor, and we'll get into it, we'll read it together, and it's pretty interesting. So this Blackjack ni yoroshiku is by Shuho Sato, and as long as I'm giving this guy his credit where credit is due, you and me are free to download this free PDF of this manga. I can put it up on my channel, we can talk about it, we can do all sorts of stuff, and I'm not going to get nailed for copyright laws. So first things first, I need you guys to go to the website. It's densho810.com/free/ So access it just like this. So I got my iPad out today. Now this is all in Japanese, that's fine, don't worry about it. We're just going to scroll down. You see the episode number 1, Yoroshiku 1, Yoroshiku 1. There's 2 download arrows. The one on the left is Japanese. It says Nihongo, Nihongo. You want that one, not the one next to it that says Eigo. So we want Nihongo. Just click on that, and a little download thing should come up. Download it, save the file, and that's it. We're ready to get started. Okay, now that you have your the first book of Yoroshiku Blackjack downloaded and ready to go, we'll be reading through this together. But also, you're going to need a kanji dictionary. And for that, you'll have to grab your smartphone. Okay, on your smartphone, you're going to want to pull up jisho.org, JISHO.org, jisho.org. And when you see that, it'll pull up a page like this. I like this because of this draw function. If you see draw, you can click on it. You can use pen or your finger or whatever you want either on your phone or on your iPad to just draw kanji that you may not know what it means. What I like about jisho.com is that you can write out multiple kanji and put together words or a string of words and look up their meaning instead of just trying to look up one kanji at a time, which is kind of a fault of some of the applications that are available, where we can only look at one kanji at a time. So, okay, let's do this. We have everything. We've got our blackjack comic ready to go. You've got your notebook, your pen, you've got your dictionary, your kanji dictionary ready to go. Let's do this. Click on to the next video. Let's start studying from lesson number 1, and on the other side of this, I promise you're going to be reinvigorated and excited about learning Japanese again, and you're going to feel great about yourself and with how much you've grown and how much you've learned from just one book.